10 months ago, I've uploaded my first video showcasing some of the Skyrim mods, and although lacking in production value and confidence, the video itself reminds me of enthusiasm I've had for the potential that the channel can reach over time, but I've never imagined gathering a literal small city of people interested in the releases posted on this same channel. The community grew to a larger size than I could have ever imagined, and for that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart and have taken the liberty to create this small transformation video where we will take a look at the full visual transformation of Skyrim Special Edition with only 25 mods. To lay down the foundation in our project to beautify lands of Skyrim, we'll begin by significantly improving and overhauling landscapes throughout the full province by adding high quality and at the same time performance-friendly textures and mesh changes with some miscellaneous additions that ties everything together nicely. We'll be beginning by putting together several texture mods that will improve the dated and pixelated landscapes, while at the same time adding minor parallax effects to terrains all across Skyrim that will improve its visual presentation as we put together the full list of 25 mods that are to be added in this video. The base of transformation starts with the unofficial baseline textures called Skyrim Realistic Overhaul. These files that should be installed, optimized and merged together come in 4 different files, offering 10 GB of high quality 2K and even 4K textures to Skyrim Special Edition, and with it drastically increases the quality while at the same time keeping the artistic look of the original textures that come with the base game. The change will not be heavily noticeable, but as they are somewhat performance friendly, they serve as a great baseline to build your own texture overhaul later down the line as you get more comfortable with micromanaging individual textures. Adding upon Skyrim Realistic Overhaul, it's time to top the texture fidelity off by further improving the architecture, clutter, furniture and overall landscaping with one of the most downloaded mods for Skyrim, and that's the well-known Static Mesh Improvement mod. Simply put, these textures and meshes are part of a massive project to greatly improve the appearance of countless static 3D models in Skyrim, and additionally fixes many ugly seams and transitions that were plaguing the base game. We can consider this mod to be essential, as it's recommended to be used as a base for any mod lists out there. Further improvement for our Skyrim's architecture will be done with Noble Skyrim Mod, and with it we will add a completely new look by changing its existing textures with the custom ones created by the author of this same mod. Besides the architecture itself, several other things have been improved and changed, from landscapes, dungeons, ruins, caves, mines, clutter, and other miscellaneous items to match with the rest of the mod. Noble Skyrim Mod offers full pack of 2K textures and 1K textures for those with weaker rigs, and additionally offers an optional SMIM patch in the update files, which we will be using as well since we have added it to the list a few seconds ago. Following up Noble Skyrim, we will add one of the biggest overhauls that will drastically change the game in its visual elements, and that's the mod Skyrim 2020 Parallax. This particular pack of textures has over 2,000 files and overhauls large portion of the game by adding high-resolution textures for cities, dungeons, clutter, armors, landscapes, and much more. The collection of these textures are updating quite frequently, as the mod author is quite consistent with the updates of these packs, so I would recommend occasionally visiting the page for potential updates of this mod. The texture quality is pretty amazing, and they significantly improve the overall feel of the game, which will become even more noticeable after adding mods that we will cover later in this video. The most plentiful and noticeable textures present in the land of Skyrim are of course mountainous areas, and let's face it, the base mountain textures are pretty bad, in many cases stretched out, causing visually unpleasant texture seams and variety of issues. We will fix this by adding Majestic Mountains, a complete mountain rework that improves textures by merging 2 4K textures into one, creating a higher visual quality, and additionally adds few other fixes to mountainous areas to fit better with the dynamic day and night cycles, plus weather systems that we will later add to the list. Equally as important as mountainous areas of Skyrim, improving roads that are distributed across the province play a big role in visually enhancing the game. As we do spend quite a decent amount of time traversing these roads on foot or on horseback, they frequently become a full focus and therefore deserve a complete visual rework. The best job at reworking these same roads can be achieved with Blended Roads' Redone mod, a visual high-definition retexture of the mod Blended Roads that offers up to 8K texture quality and additionally darkens the roads itself which does look a lot better as it provides a more dirty and tarnished appearance. As dungeon exploration plays a big part of adventure in Skyrim, improving appearance of Nordic ruins is also a must, and the mod that we will use to achieve this will be Rudy HQ Nordic Ruins, a high quality texture overhaul with some additional UV tweaks and meshes for minor clutter scattered within the ruins themselves. And lastly, we will proceed with adding a cherry on top by further beautifying landscapes of Skyrim by adding Septentrional Landscapes Retexture Mod, a ridiculously high quality addition that overhauls those same landscapes across all biomes in Skyrim, from tundras to pine forests all the way to volcanic areas. This mod was made with 3D scans and their texture fidelity goes up to 8K and will quite noticeably improve all grassless areas. And in order to provide the same treatment to the colder areas of Skyrim and northern parts of the province covered in ice and snow, we will add Northern Ice, a new glacier and ice cave mod with higher polygon count and separated snow layers. The mod itself was relatively recently released, but it's definitely a great option to pick up to overhaul glaciers and icy landscapes. Final addition to this part of the landscape will be the Fluffy Snow mod. As the name suggests, this mod changes the textures of the snow scattered around Skyrim, and in my opinion, even though it's quite an old mod, does the best job at what it aims to overhaul. As there are some other options such as Hyperborean Snow, Nordic Snow and few others, unfortunately they do have some minor issues that I personally could never tolerate, and therefore will still recommend to stick with Fluffy Snow for the purpose of this video. Its name is quite a good descriptor of how the author approached the creation of these textures, as after adding these textures to the list, you will notice a more, well, fluffier touch to snowy landscapes. They are available in 2K resolution and are quite performance friendly as well. With the landscapes being done, we can somewhat be satisfied with a drastic improvement of landscapes, biomes and overall clutter around the province, and we have a great base to expand further if we choose to add more stuff in the future. But we are just getting started. Flora is something that I have played around with a lot, and for those that have been with the channel have probably noticed throughout previous videos that there were constant shifts between multiple options offered by the community, never really sticking with one option for a longer period. You could argue that this is something that is just a given when being an advanced modder, but Flora and ENBs stand out as files that I tend to change most frequently. The criteria that I've used for this video and the reasons why I've picked out the next 3 mods as the option for this video are not just a personal preference, which mind you is a big factor in this video's creation, but the mod's compatibility, in-game implementation and optimization. With all that being said, the tree overhaul of my choice for this video ended up being 3D trees and plants. This Flora overhaul offers more than 300 high quality replacer models for trees and plants, uses lightweight texturing, with additional weight painted foliage for every single asset for that sweet realistic wind and breeze animations. Furthermore, the mod author has added countless landscaping interventions, improving on the current level design for that increased consistency and refinement. Additionally, this mod comes with, in my opinion, the best looking plants out of all Flora overhauls released by the community, and played a big role in my decision to pick out 3D trees as an option. The mod offers top quality billboards that can be added within the optionals, which is a huge plus, especially as this mod used to struggle with decent looking LODs in the past. Further improving upon our Flora overhaul, and after Folkvangr's release and my original coverage of this mod, there was no doubt in my mind that this would be the grass mod of my choice for this video as well. As I have covered this mod in depth in one of my previous videos, I would suggest to go ahead and watch it for in-depth coverage if you need additional convincing in picking up this mod. A brief overview of Folkvangr is as follows. The grass mod offers new grass types for each of the holds, offering variety in landscaping, additionally adds leaf litter in realistic places, and further adds matching landscape textures for better transitions. The mod greatly complements 3D trees and is probably my favorite mod released in 2021. And finally, the last touch for Flora overhaul will be done by Cathedral 3D Mountain Flowers. This mod has had its spotlight 2 times in the past on my channel, as I personally consider it to be that good, and since it does change mountain flowers textures and meshes, it's considered almost essential for any Flora overhaul. These flowers are scattered everywhere around Skyrim landscapes, so its overhaul might seem minor on the surface. However, that could not be further from the truth and would become obvious upon installation of this mod. With this introduction of enhanced flora changes, the landscapes of Skyrim are slowly starting to shape up, looking better in increments, and will be additionally further complemented as we progress through the video. Weathers play a pivotal role in steering the feel of the game in a certain direction. Whether you want to apply the fantasy feel of your game, perhaps a more realistic touch to it, or my favorite, a dark and grim appearance to landscapes of Skyrim, the choices certainly come down to a personal preference. At the end of the day, you are the one that decides what your game will feel like. As mentioned a second ago, weathers play a crucial role in providing the game with a certain feel and serve as a base for lighting and E&B setup later to be added down the line. For this video, I decided to pick up a semi-realistic, semi-fantasy game appearance, as it is the most popular option and offers the most versatility when building up the base within your mod list. The weather of my choice would be Cathedral Weathers and Seasons, a natural fantasy weather mod that was founded by multiple authors and is considered to be one of the most superior weather mods released by the community. The weathers provided by this mod are extremely varietal, and it would take me a full hour to go through every single addition provided by this mod, so for the sake of keeping this coverage within the reasonable duration, I suggest everyone at this step to carefully consider their choice of weathers before proceeding further. Cathedral Weathers in my personal experience came with no performance impact, and one of my favorite additions that came with the mod are the introduction of Seasons, whereby a seasonal perspective has been added to the game, making summers appear warmer and winters colder through lighting intensity and brightness manipulation. The mod also comes with an additional audio that covers all weathers, further improved sky meshes, intra-cloud skylighting, and plethora of other features. Furthermore, next to Cathedral Weathers we will add a couple of other mods that I will skip covering, as they are all minor additions to weathers themselves. However, together as a group make a huge of a difference in weather presentation. Additionally, as these files are listed as requirements for E&B of our choice in this video, their installation becomes crucial for the best possible results. Full list of these mods will be included in the description below, and additionally explained in a separate dedicated channel on my Discord server. After addition of a weather mod and their complementary minor tweaks and add-ons, the game starts improving in visual presentation through varietal weathers, improved lighting, sky meshes, and other quite noticeable changes. Lighting itself also plays a crucial role in providing your game with a certain feel and atmosphere, and like previous personally selected subcategories, my decision to recommend the next few mods that increases the quality of lighting has been made with taking implementation, compatibility, and end product as deciding factors. As there are a lot of new mods that are tackling interior lighting and atmosphere in a superior manner, such as ambient lighting combined or increasingly more popular Lux, I have decided to stick with Enhanced Light and FX as the lighting mod of my choice. Additionally, as Enhanced Light and FX is also a required mod for E&B files of my choice for this video, the compatibility played a pivotal role in my final decision. But, just like most mods that changes visuals in the game, lighting included, it will come down to a personal preference, and those willing to expand or modify their list to other options might have to choose other E&B files and additionally work on compatibility. Furthermore, next to Enhanced Light and FX, we will add Enhanced Lighting for E&B. Since we are installing two mods that do the same, it is absolutely required to add ELE, ELFX Consistency Patch and Tweaks, a completely separate mod that ensures both of the previously mentioned lighting mods work nicely together. These tweaks carry ELFX light parameters over LEs and forwards ELFX records where they conflict with enhanced lighting for E&B. Both lighting mods and the patch itself are a requirement for the E&B of our choice for this video, so everything will work nicely and complement each other in the most effective way possible. If unsure about the load order in which these files should be placed, as mentioned earlier, there will be an additional information including the plugin order in the dedicated channel available on my Discord server. Introduction of these mods will create a more dramatic and realistic mood to Skyrim's interiors by adding light to all light sources and removing all light without a source, as well as the addition of many effects such as smoke, volumetric lights, and ripples. Additionally, these mods will add a new candle smoke, water reflection, more shadow lights in specific places, improved difference between night and day in interior areas, darker and smoky taverns, and much more. The atmosphere will look more realistic, dimmer, and a lot more immersive. These lighting mods are somewhat a performance-friendly option, and users should not experience major impact on their game. Lastly, as a part of a complete lighting overhaul, another recently released and previously covered mod will be included within this subcategory, and that's dynamic volumetric lighting and sun shadows. This SKSC plugin dynamically adjusts a particular game setting to ensure better synchronization between sun shadows and the sun itself. This plugin also additionally fixes one of the Skyrim's oldest problems, and that's introducing volumetric lighting and shadows in the period of a day before 10 AM and after 4 PM. The mod's introduction severely improves sunsets and sunrises, providing jaw-dropping sceneries. However, as a result, darkens the game due to its improved shadow casts, which will be later tackled with an appropriate E&B preset. As we add these files to the list, interior lighting becomes significantly improved, while exterior areas will start to additionally shape up even without the E&B files. As a cherry on top, adding E&B files and a preset will tie everything together nicely, providing that final touch of realism and fantasy, further improving the visual elements of the game. One of the two mods that we will be adding is water for E&B mod. Now, it might sound a little bit off to have a water mod included in a subcategory for E&B files, however, this particular water mod that I consider to be by far the best option out there for water overhauls does require E&B files in order to function properly. Water for E&B has been previously covered on this channel, where I have provided an in-depth look at the mod's goal and implementation and was spotlighted as one of the best mods released in 2020. This water overhaul, as mentioned earlier, requires and takes full advantage of advanced features offered by E&B series and provides full displacement support, eliminates water seams, has no scripts included, maintains vanilla-style water flow, and has semi-realistic water transparency. The mod offers a selection of multiple color options to pick out, and additionally includes an installation menu with optional low resolution textures for best performance. And finally, the E&B of my choice for that fantasy feel to the game would be the latest updated Rudy E&B for Cathedral weathers. As this mod page offers two different versions, one being Rudy's version and another being Zangdar's edit that offers additional reshade effects, you are free to try out both options and make an informed decision which one to go with. For this video, I went with Rudy's version as it's more performance friendly, sun is less intensive, and Rudy's version never appeared on this channel before as opposed to Zangdar's edit. This particular preset offers all of the amazing features included within the latest updates of the E&B series and have been further tweaked and reworked to show full potential of dynamic volumetric lighting and sun shadows mod previously added. Furthermore, the author of this preset has individually tweaked all weathers included in Cathedral Weathers mod to ensure full compatibility with the preset itself. All the features, requirements, and installation instructions have been provided on the page, and for best results, appearance, and compatibility, it's highly advised to follow these steps closely. Final notes related to this transformation video that I would like to mention is this particular overhaul is aimed towards a more broad and a casual audience, users that don't have hardware capacity or time and experience to spend hundreds of hours on improving the game's visuals. Additionally, do note that this should not be treated as a fully fledged guide. This video's original purpose and intent is presenting and showcasing the transformation itself and the extensive possibility of a complete visual overhaul with only 25 mods. If you choose to completely replicate everything showcased in this video, as mentioned earlier, there will be a dedicated channel on my Discord providing important details about this small overhaul. However, I cannot afford to provide full support and assistance with troubleshooting and fixes. Do note that I have extensively tested this overhaul, and in that period of 20 hours of testing, I personally came across zero issues. And there we have it, a somewhat small but at the same time quite detailed visual transformation of landscapes of Skyrim, and this small list of 25 mods can be used as a base to further expand your load order as you get more comfortable with increased size of your mod list and as you learn and gain more experience in this endless hobby of ours. Please make sure to support the authors of your favorite mods, as none of this would be possible without hard work provided for free by the amazing modding community. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like on this video, or perhaps clicking that subscribe button to stay up to date with future channel updates and video releases. For those interested in going the extra mile, I also have a Patreon account with their own benefits and advantages, which I use to further upgrade the quality of future video releases. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.